In this video we're going to look at the Disney Elite First Order Flame Trooper, and he's from the 5-pack, but he was available single carded in 2015. Quite a good looking figure, quite heavy, quite nicely sculpted. And this one is probably definitely just as good as the Black Series figure. Got less articulation, but you know, this one is very heavy, solid piece, much larger than the Black Series figure. It's got quite good articulation. You can get into quite a good pose like this. Just got to get him balanced right. So cool looking figure. Comes with a massive flamethrower, backpack, which is nicely detailed. The screw holes aren't covered up though on this figure because it's one of the earlier ones. Articulation is, because he's kind of a bulky figure, it's a bit limited, but let's go through that quickly. So his knees bend, straighten and bend, feet pivot forward and back, but do not rotate, so it's not a rocking foot. Leg moves that far out and that far in, so not too bad. That's as close as the legs will go together. Waist rotates, very stiff though. Elbows bend, hands rotate, and the bull shoulders move out a bit, about that far out, so you can get into the two-handed pose with the flamethrower. And then the helmet is on a ball joint, so the helmet's got good movement. Quite a nice looking figure. Cool figure this. Looks really good. I've got the Black Series equivalent to, obviously comes with a stand, it's typical Star Wars Elite stand. We've got the Black Series figure to compare him with. As you can see, they look very similar. There's definitely a size difference, and there's difference in sculpting. Like if you see in this one, he's got black between the armour, this one hasn't got it. Probably his helmet's more defined, looks sharper, whereas his one doesn't, because he's got black paint and he's got a sort of greyish. Size of the helmets, it's quite different. You can see overall they look pretty similar. There's his flame weapon. Here's his. Pretty similar. Both have that black around the thigh. He's got two black dots there, he's just got the dots but they're not painted. The foot's quite different. This is part of the leg, this is part of the foot. From behind it's quite interesting to compare the two. So you can see there's quite a bit of difference in the sculpting. This one has a single red dot there, this one has several black dots, a much thicker antenna there. The 011 is more pronounced on this one, whereas here it's quite faint. Excuse me. Then we have this bit of silver there on the Black Series. Both have the handles, dabs of red on the cylinder. both have the similar sort of sculpting for the piping. This one's got, the Elite has 3 redundant tubes here. The Black Series doesn't have that. See the back of the legs, you can see the screw holes there, which are quite awful. This figure weighs a ton. This figure is a lot more lighter, smaller, but looks really good. So you can still get this figure. I picked another one up recently at the Entertainer for $5.99, and Forbidden Planet had these for $4.99 a couple of years ago in the UK, and this one you'd probably have to hunt down on eBay, but it's a good figure, this one. I mean, even this one, because of the way the arm is designed, is kind of limited in posability, even though it's a lot more posable than that one. I mean, in the end, you're just going to want to get it into this sort of pose, and then have him looking with the flame like he's charring some burgers. So, quite a good figure, this one. They're as good as each other. Okay, so that's the Black Series Flame Trooper and the Disney Elite. Both are great. Alright, cheers, goodbye.